Hi, this is Troy from Blockchain Rookies. Today we're going to talk about the H5W approach to assessing blockchain projects. Maybe that's a project you read about in the news, maybe it's a startup who's pitching to you for funding, or maybe it's your own blockchain project. H5W simply means how, who, what, where, why, and when. We've taken each of those and then tailored that for a blockchain project question. Let's start with who. Who are the people that are going to be involved in this particular blockchain network? You can't have just a single company be involved. They could just use a database. You need multiple companies to be involved to have a really good blockchain network. A variation on the who is who will be running the nodes, where a node is an individual computer that holds a copy of the blockchain, and the nodes collectively decide what information gets written onto the blockchain. So the first question is who. The second question is what. What data will be written onto the blockchain? This is a tricky question, and depending on the answer, you'll know if they really understand what blockchain is or if they don't. If they start talking about putting personal information or medical records on a blockchain, you know it's a non-starter. Equally, blockchains are not designed for high-volume transactions or for storing large data files. So if they're talking about doing millions of transactions a minute, or huge like terabytes worth of data, again, it's not a good blockchain project. The next question is where. If all the data isn't stored on the blockchain, then where is all the rest of the data stored? Is it going to be in a centralized database? Is it going to be on a distributed file system? Exactly where will this data be stored? And one of the most important questions you can ask is why. Why are you going to use blockchain to solve this particular problem? Why do you need to have a decentralized database? Why do you need to have a distributed database? Why does the information in the database need to be immutable, meaning it can't be changed or it becomes tamper evident? So if you can't answer the why question, it'll be really hard to get other people to join the blockchain network. It'll be really difficult to sell the value proposition for adding blockchain into your project. The next question is when. When will there be enough participants, enough data, enough transactions for the blockchain network to have real value? When will you reach critical mass? When will the project reach tipping point to where the blockchain network actually benefits from the network effect? The next question is how. How will you get data onto the blockchain, and how will you extract data from the blockchain? And I'm not just talking about the APIs that you'd use to connect the systems. I'm talking about will there be applications written? Will you be transforming from paper process to a digital process? Exactly how will you get that data onto the blockchain? Another variation on how is, how will you audit the data? Yes, information written into a blockchain is immutable, which means it cannot be changed. But that doesn't mean that it's correct. How are you going to audit the information? At the end of the day, the H5W approach to assessing blockchain projects is really pretty simple. You just have to ask the questions. Who, what, where, why, when, and how. I'm Troy Norcross with Blockchain Rookies. You can find us on Twitter on @IGetBlockchain. You can find me personally on @Troy_Norcross. And of course, look for us on LinkedIn.